He clears his messages every night before he plugs his phone in, and then he kisses me goodnight like nothing happened. It's not dramatic. There's no sudden movement. I'll be brushing my teeth or already in bed, and I can hear the little tap sounds from his side. Swipe, hold, delete, over and over. By the time he puts the phone face down on the nightstand, it's like the day never existed on that screen. In the morning, his phone is always clean. No previews. No open threads. Just a lock screen and whatever notifications come in after he wakes up. If I glance over while he's scrolling, he angles it away without really thinking about it. Not in a sneaky way. More like muscle memory. And if I reach for it just to move it or because mine's dead and I want to check the time, his hand comes out first. Fast. Casual. Like he's protecting something fragile. If I say anything even lightly, he stiffens. It's just privacy, he says. I'm allowed to have privacy. So I drop it. Because that sentence sounds reasonable when you say it out loud. We live together, so this isn't happening in secret corners. It's in the open. The same way he cooks dinner most nights. The same way he leaves his shoes by the door even though I've asked him not to. The same way he always puts his phone face down everywhere. On the coffee table. At restaurants. On the couch between us. Screen never up. Sound always on vibrate. Sometimes I notice him checking messages in the bathroom. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes he's texting while we're watching a show, thumbs moving fast, and then the second the episode ends, the phone is gone. Bathroom. Bedroom. Somewhere I'm not. I haven't seen a single full conversation on his phone in 3 years. When I try to ask about it, I hear myself change the question before it leaves my mouth. I soften it. Hey, why do you always delete your messages? Turns into, do you mind if I borrow your phone? And even that feels like too much. The one time I asked directly, he laughed. Not mean. Just surprised. Why would you need to see my messages? I didn't have a good answer ready. I still don't. I'm not trying to catch him. I'm not trying to read through his life. I just want to know what's there. He told me about his ex then. How she went through his phone constantly. How nothing was ever enough. How she turned every conversation into an interrogation. He said he promised himself he'd never live like that again. So now when I feel that tightness in my chest at night when I hear the deleting start, I tell myself I'm not like her. I don't snoop. I don't demand passwords. I don't scroll when he's in the shower. I sit on my side of the bed and scroll my own phone and pretend I don't notice what he's doing. Sometimes he notices me noticing. That's when he gets defensive. Not angry exactly. Just sharp. You're doing that thing, he says. You're making it a problem when it's not. And I immediately feel embarrassed, like I crossed a line that only existed in my head. We met at a friend's birthday thing. Nothing special. A loud bar, cheap drinks, sticky floor. He made a joke about the cake. I laughed. We talked about work and how tired we both were of dating apps. He texted me the next day. That part felt easy. In the beginning, his phone habits didn't stand out. Everyone's on their phone. Everyone guards it a little. He was attentive with me. He showed up when he said he would. He remembered things I told him. That mattered more to me than whether he left his phone unlocked on the table. Moving in together felt like a natural step. Rent made more sense. We were already spending every night together. There was comfort in the routine. Groceries, shared streaming accounts, splitting chores. I slept better knowing someone else was there. The first time I noticed the deleting clearly, like really noticed it, was maybe 6 months in. I asked who he was texting so late. He said a coworker. I said okay. That was it. The second time I joked about how empty his phone always looked. He said he liked a clean slate. I said I wished my brain worked like that. We laughed. The third time I asked if he ever worried about losing something important. He said if it was important he'd remember it. After that I stopped asking. Now it's every night. Not sometimes. Not when he's stressed. Every single night before bed. Messages gone. History cleared. Like a ritual. Like brushing teeth. What's weird is that nothing else is wrong. That's the part that makes me feel dramatic. He's not distant. He's not cold. He still reaches for me in bed. Still asks about my day. Still talks about future plans like they're a given. Trips. Maybe getting a dog. Stuff you don't say if you're halfway out the door. So when the doubt creeps in, I push it back down. I tell myself I'm projecting. I tell myself trauma doesn't disappear just because you're in a better relationship. I tell myself boundaries are healthy, and I don't want to be the person who confuses curiosity with control. I hear his voice in my head before I even open my mouth. Why don't you trust me? And I don't know how to answer that without sounding like the bad guy. I explain it to my friends in a way that makes it sound smaller. He's just really private, I say. He had a bad experience. I leave out the nightly deleting. I leave out the way his shoulders tense if I even glance at his screen. I leave out the part where I sometimes feel like I'm living next to a locked room I'm not allowed to acknowledge. I don't go through his phone. I don't want to. That's the line I don't want to cross. Once you cross it, you can't uncross it. And if I don't find anything, I've still become someone I don't recognize. And if I do find something, then what? So instead, I watch behavior. I notice patterns. I notice how fast he is to accuse me of being controlling when I'm not even asking to see anything. Just asking why. Just asking for reassurance. I notice how often he brings up privacy before I even say the word. Sometimes I wonder if this is just what modern relationships look like now. Everyone has a whole world on their phone. Everyone curates what gets seen. Maybe expecting access is outdated. Maybe I'm the one holding on to an old idea of closeness that doesn't fit anymore. But then I think about how close we are everywhere else. How we share space, money, time. How he knows my phone password because I've never cared to hide it. How I've never once deleted my messages before bed because it never occurred to me to. I stay because I don't want to be unfair. I stay because I don't want to punish him for someone else's mistakes. I stay because I don't want to become someone who equates love with surveillance. Leaving feels extreme. Dramatic. Like I'd be walking away over something I can't even name clearly. There's no proof. No screenshots. No moment I can point to and say that's it. Just a phone face down. A ritual. A boundary that feels thicker every night. So I keep respecting it. And I keep losing something quietly at the same time. And I don't know how much longer I can tell myself those two things aren't connected, because at what point does privacy stop being about protecting yourself and start being about keeping someone out?